Have you been checking out this case with Young Thug? One of the craziest stories that I've seen in a minute. It got everything. Got the famous rappers, RICO charges. You have the judge that looks like he's on a power trip. You got Fonnie Willis in the mix. And you also have her nemesis, Ashley Merchant. You have defense attorneys about to go to jail. What the hell is going on in Fulton County? We're gonna talk a little bit about that and more in this video today. So let's meet the main characters real quick, shall we? So you got Young Thug. Now I know in this channel, and I've checked out some of the demographics of this channel, and I know that I have a good amount of viewers who are my age and a little older. I'm 39. And I'm wondering, do you guys even know who Young Thug is? I'm a serious question. Because I think if you're 45 and older, you probably have no idea who he is, or he kind of came and went, but I think the younger crowd know who he is. He was dropping some hits back in the day. I'll be honest, the first song that I found that I enjoyed, I did not understand anything he was saying. I don't know if the man was rapping in English. What the hell was he saying? Like, I have no idea what he was saying, but it was fire though, but that was a bit incoherent. Anyway, his name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, and he's facing some serious charges, RICO charges. He is accused of being heavily involved in a criminal street gang called Young Slime Life. Young Slime Life. Anyway, the charges are based on obviously the RICO charges, which targets organized crime, participating in criminal street gang activity, violent crimes like murder, armed robbery, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Also, he has a bunch of other charges: possession of a bunch of drugs, marijuana, codeine, cocaine, at least with the weed and codeine, and with the intent to distribute, then possession of a firearm, and a possession of a machine gun. So, you know, typical rapper stuff.
For Young Thug himself, not only participation in a criminal street gang, but being a leader / founder / in the management part of the street gang to further crimes as in murder, a sweeping indictment basically to get all of these members of YSL, or at least 28 of them, charged with various crimes. And Jeffrey Williams is kind of the lead and the head of that. And so his charges really have to do with furthering the criminal activity, like promoting it, that kind of thing.
Now, this case has gone forever. Been checking out some of the other YouTube lawyers out there. The amount of attention that Young Thug and Diddy is getting on these platforms, I feel like I'm watching BET Court. But anyway, it's been going on for a very long time. And the reason why is because these charges are very intensive and complex. The charges involved at least 28 individuals, and the allegations span a wide range of criminal activities over several years, requires extensive evidence and witness testimony. And obviously the jury selection was incredibly slow and has faced multiple delays. The trial has experienced numerous legal maneuvers and delays. This includes motions filed by the defense and the prosecution, requests for bond, challenges to evidence. Each motion requires hearings and rulings, just taking forever to do this. And in the high amount of witnesses and evidence, the prosecution has indicated they planned on calling over 300 witnesses to testify against the defendants. It's taken a long, crazy amount of time. And the problem is there's been a lot of issues with the judicial controversies and issues when we're talking about that as well. So let's get into this. We even had some witness drama. One of the key witnesses, Kenneth Copeland, also known as Little Woody, was supposed to testify against YSL gang. He was given immunity by the prosecutors, which means he couldn't get in trouble for anything he said in court. But when it came time to testify, he refused.
Do you want to be here?
Ma'am?
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
The judge got really mad and arrested him for not cooperating.
This court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take him into custody.
This caused a big stir because it looked like the judge was trying to force someone to talk, even though they didn't want to. You can't make this stuff up. There's so many potential Tubi movies that can be produced. It's great for Hollywood, right? But now it's time to focus on the judge. The judge that many believe is corrupt and is on the side of the prosecutors instead of being the mediator, the ref in this situation. His name is Judge Glenville, and he is the Fulton County Superior Court Chief Judge. And there's some very interesting things about him and the issues with the court system.
I'm going to throw out some numbers that I got from the county clerk's office, and I'd like to get your response to them, if that's okay.
Sure.
As of August 21st of this year, according to the county clerk's office, there were 11,000 indicted defendants awaiting trial, 12,000 unindicted defendants awaiting to be indicted, and then a grand total of 23,000. That's about 5,000. That's about a 5,000 increase as of December. They were in and out of mental health facilities trying to get them competent enough to go to trial. There was a gentleman I found waiting 13 years for trial. Again, he had competency issues. Should it take 5, 10, 13 years to determine whether someone's competent enough to go to trial?
Well, what I tell you to begin with, I can't comment individually on any of those cases because of the requirements of the judicial canons of ethics. But what I can say that each particular case is unique and has its own set of circumstances and facts.
The correct answer is we are messing up, that we're having people waiting multiple years for a trial. What country are we in? Are we in some kind of third world country where we can't get these people to have a fair trial? It looks like some of these judges aren't working hard enough, but Glenville doesn't agree with that. Seems like it's just a lot of complications. So we already know what kind of judge we're dealing with. In the courtroom, the judge is like the referee and making sure that everyone plays by the rules. But this judge seemed to be playing by his own rules. Now, this is the craziest stuff that happened in the last week or so. The judge is trying to even send the lawyers to jail. This judge likes to flex his muscles, and in this situation tried to throw a lawyer to jail because he was late. The judge said he had to write a 17-page paper about being professional or go to jail for 20 days.
Mr. Johnson, how are we doing on that paper? I mean, the importance of professionalism. Yours is due by the 28th of April. So we're good? I'm sorry? Because that wasn't offered to you. You already asked me, could I pay the $1,000? I told you no. Well, I know you would, but that's not what's on the table. So you said 28, right? 28, yes, at noon. Or you do 20 days. It's 17-page paper on the importance of professionalism in the legal field and treating one's opponents with civility. Paper is to be published quality in APA format and at least 10 primary and 10 secondary sources.
Imagine that, guys. If you had to write a 17-page paper or go to jail for 20 days, what would you do? I may have to go to jail. I hate writing papers. Anyway, but imagine having to write a super long essay or go to jail. Now, lawyers are supposed to be on time and professional, but this is just really, really ridiculous. And it seemed like it's a bit of a power trip by Judge Glenville. It looks like because the cameras are there, he wants to get his moment in the spotlight. Not cool. Not cool at all. Now, this is where things get really, really heated because apparently the judge had a secret squirrel meeting called an ex parte meeting, which means that the judge talked to one side, the prosecutors, without the other side, the defense, knowing or even being there.
Then when we arrived at 8:30, 9 o'clock today, we did not come into your courtroom until almost 11:30. And what I found out just recently, this is not waived, is that supposedly in chambers, this honorable court reporter at times, honorable court at times, district attorney or district attorneys from the DA's office, as well as investigators, sheriff deputies, Mr. Copeland and his counsel met together. None of the defense team, to my knowledge, was aware that this was going on. It was told, based upon information belief, that it was told to the district attorneys that Mr. Copeland intended to plead the Fifth Amendment. Then I was told, based upon information belief, that Adrian Love, the lawyer for Mr. Copeland, and this court were together.
I'm kind of disturbed because
That's ex parte. All that was an ex parte conversation. How did you find out about any of that?
Well, I'm disturbed too. And the reason
I'm asking you a question. How did you find out about it?
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. The judge, the DA's team, and a key witness had a secret talk. This witness was supposed to testify, but didn't want to because he was scared. The problem is breaking the rules of court. In court, both sides, prosecution and the defense, are supposed to know everything that's going on. That keeps everything as fair as possible. Having secret talks can make it seem like one side is getting special treatment, which isn't fair. So obviously, Brian Steele, Young Thug's lawyer, found out about this secret squirrel meeting and got really upset. He said it wasn't fair and asked the judge to redo parts of the trial. But the judge got real tight and got mad for complaining and even threatened to throw him in jail if he didn't reveal how he found out about the secret squirrel meeting.
All right. Mr. Steele, before I recessed, I asked you, how did you get this information? And it is not covered by work product. There's only one way you could have gotten it. So I'm going to ask you again.
And I respect that, and it gives me no joy, but as you know, Georgia Rule of Professional Conduct, please check me. Rule 1.6, comment 5 reads, and this is what I have. 1.6.
I know what the rule says, but here's the thing.
Well, let me just.
But you got, just like when you asked me for an ex parte conversation.
I've never asked this honorable court or any court to meet with me and a witness.
Sir, you're straying off the issue.
I'm not.
The issue is, how did you get this information?
I understand the issue. I promise you I understand it. But what I'm trying to ask you is, if you look at comment 5, this is how I understand the law.
You cannot you can't violate something.
I told you the first time, and I'm not.
Sir, I don't want to hold you in contempt, but this is that serious.
Judge,
you cannot eavesdrop and get information that was not meant for you to hear at that particular point in time.
Judge, you listen. And listen, I'll do whatever you want to 5 o'clock or thereafter. But what I'm trying to tell you is, Your Honor, this is so serious to me. We need a hearing, and I'm moving for a mistrial. It is my understanding, based upon information belief,
from whom?
Part of it.
From whom?
Well, I'd like to get the substance first, and then we can
Okay,
talk
well, then you'll be in custody until then.
This trial needs to be thrown out. It is a mistrial. This does not look great for the prosecution and the judge. Even if this trial continues and it doesn't go Young Thug's way, they're gonna probably have to do another trial. This is crazy.
Again, I'm not gonna sit up here and make false accusations or spurious allegations. But I do think we need to figure out what happened. We need to be in the know and not in the dark about what happened when a meeting occurs with a witness that has been sworn in. And we're not invited to the party. So those are my requests, Your Honor. I think it's necessary at this time to put a halt to these proceedings. I am moving for a mistrial. I have not waived anything. I just found out about this information. It is timely, and that's our stance, Your Honor. Thank you.
I've noted your motion for mistrial. It's denied.
Imagine that. Not being mad about the idea that you did something wrong, but got mad that you got caught doing it. Good stuff, Judge Glenville. And the story gets even crazier. Enter Ashley Merchant. And Fannie Willis knows about Ashley Merchant all too very well. She saw how unfair things were getting and decided to step in, filed an emergency motion. That's a big legal request to stop the judge from jailing Brian Steele and to review the judge's actions.
Anytime a member or criminal defense lawyer is making a motion in good faith and they're being shut down by the judge and threatened with jail, that's scary.
The reason Steele was held in contempt by Judge Earl Glenville?
The judge was having ex parte communications with the district attorney and a witness.
So the highest court in Georgia, Supreme Court, looked at what was happening. They decided that the judge couldn't jail Brian Steele while his case was being reviewed. This means Brian Steele got to stay out of jail while the other judges take a closer look at everything. So this Judge Granville is taking a lot of hits right now. Some people say he's too strict, jailing people for things that usually wouldn't send someone to jail, having those secret squirrel meetings, having private talks with one side and not with the other, not being professional. And the problem is when you have judges who behave this way, it just brings a lot of drama. The trial is moving very slowly, and every time someone gets arrested or some new controversy pops up, it causes delays. That means this trial is taking longer than it should, which is frustrating for everyone involved. And also there's fairness in question. When a judge acts in a way that seems unfair, it makes people question the whole trial. If people think the judge is being too harsh or playing favorites, they may not trust the outcome of the trial. This is a big deal because everyone deserves a fair trial. Even rappers that you can't understand what they're saying. Now, with all the twists and turns, it feels like a soap opera. Who knows what's going to happen? Is this going to be a mistrial? What is going to happen in this situation? Will Young Thug get out of this situation? Who knows? Let me know if you've been following the case. Drop a comment down below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.